Hello YouTube, this is Freeman once more. Today we are going to be talking about control statements in Java. We say that those are statements that manipulate the flow of execution in Java code based on given conditions. So we say that Java has got three categories of control statements, which are the selection, iteration, and jump statements. But then today we are going to be specifically looking at the selection part. The other ones, the iteration and the jump statements, are going to be in the following two tutorials. So now we are going to focus specifically on the selection part. So we said that the selection has got the if statements and the switch statements. So a switch like this, it's the if and the switch. These ones, they execute code based on given conditions. Just like when you want to execute code A, if the condition A is true, and then if condition A is false, we're going to execute code B. This is how they work. For example, in a weather condition application, you can just say if it's hot, then execute code that gives the user a message to wear, maybe to put on a shirt. Maybe if it's cold, you can give the user a message to put on a chest. That code is going to execute either of the two given codes based on the conditions. If the condition is cold, then you're going to print code A. If the condition is hot, then you're going to print condition B. The switch usually works with the number of conditions. If you have a number of conditions, more than, for example, more than 4, more than 5 conditions, and you don't want to use the else if statements, because we can use the if statements for a number of conditions with the help of else if, like this. Else if this is condition 1, this is condition 2, this is condition 3, and the last condition we just take the else code only. This is condition 1, this is condition 2, this is condition 3, this is condition 3, and this is the last condition. The last condition will take only the else. But if you don't want to use this system, the else if, we just go into the switch. The switch is one proper way of putting this in a more organized way. So we are going to look at the if, the else if, and the switch in a program to get a more clear picture. So our program, we're going to make a short program as usual. This program of today is going to be about searching for, let me say, searching for a girlfriend. So I'm just going to check if my girlfriend is old enough to be in a relationship, and then I'm also going to check or I can check gender and then check her age. I mean, because I'm a male, I'm going to check her gender and then her age. So what I'm going to do is just to say system dot out dot print hello, can you please, oh, what is this doing, enter your name. Then here we're going to say name equals to user input dot next line. But then I do not want to check her name. but again I can use it maybe. Okay, let me just continue. System.out.print. Let me say hi with her name. With her name. Then here I'm just going to say, how old are you? Maybe I can just include it here so that I can save my time. How? Okay, let us begin with the gender so that we do not confuse them. Oh, what is your gender? Gender, like this. Then here we're going to say gender first to user input. User input dot next line. Okay, you can just make it a character, the gender. It will be fine, but then I'm going to make it string. So I'm just going to say gender user input next line. Then here is where we are going to use the if statement. So if gender let's say equals female, then we want this code to execute. This is the code that is going to execute, which is like here. Let me just take this one, put it here. Hey, I'm just going to say, hey, I love you. Right. So let me just ask the user if they are old enough so that I can use the switch statement. So here, let me just say, by the way, how old are you? Then here I'm just going to say age, and then make it a user input, and then it should be next int because it's age. Then here I can just jump into the next line, like user input next line, excuse me. Then here I'm going to use the switch statement. I've already used the if. I'm testing this condition, if gender equals the female. So if it's not, then I have to use the else statement. Let me say else if gender dot equals gay, I'm going to print this code. If gender equals gay, I want the user to know that I'm not gay, and send them a goodbye message like this one. Hey, I'm not gay, so goodbye. Else the user automatically here is a maid. So if the user is a maid, we're just going to say no, you are a maid, so find the woman. So now we have used the if to test the first condition, And to test the second condition, we use the else if, and the third condition we use the else. And then now we have to use the switch statement. So let us get into the switch statement. The switch statement is going to test for our user H. So we're going to say here, declare the switch like this, switch, and then we put in the variable in the parentheses, which is the H in this time, and then we put curly braces where we want to execute a different number of codes based on this H. So we're going to say case H is let me say 12. I'm going to execute this code. Let me say you are too young. Then I am breaking here, break my statement here. Then just repeat this a couple of times, like here. Then I'm going to choose a different case. If case is 18, then I'm going to say you are my girlfriend. And then case H is let me say 35. You are too old. Let me just say you are too old. Of course, we have a number of cases in between here. You could just type them like this, because the switch statement does not allow you to put or here. So you could just get them like this. Case H is 1, and then again case H is 5, and then I could say 5, and all the other numbers. Even here could say case H is 19, case H is 20, case H is what. But then here I'm just going to test it on these four conditions, just to make an example. But then you can do it on yourself, or for yourself, that you do other cases. So now we have 35, 18, and 12. So we are going to give then the last statement here is the default. The default helps you to check if the user types in H that is not in your list here. If the user types in 12, if the user types in 13, I do not have 13 here, but then if the user types in 13, I am going to take it here. I'm going to take control of it here, like this, and then put it here, and then say the input is valid, like this. Input is not in our list. So this is our switch statement. This is how our switch statement works. This is the variable that you want to test against different conditions, and these are the conditions. This is condition 1, condition 2, condition 3, condition 4, and then this one takes a default condition. When the user puts it on, types in input that is not listed in your different types of conditions, maybe in your different conditions, then this is where this is the code that's going to be executed. So now if I were to run this code, maybe I could need to define some variables here, like string name, and then string gender, and then int age. These are my variables. I think they are all of them that I've used. Maybe let us check if this is executing by running the file. If this executes well, okay. Next line. Okay, the problem is now is that we didn't declare the scanner. We need to import a Java util. I have a scanner here. I need just to declare it here. Where? Yeah. Scanner user input, and then make it a scanner that will take system.in like this. Then this user input object is now good to go. Maybe let me check if there is any other bug or error here. Okay, yes, here's my name. So the user's name should be Anna, and then your gender female, and then I love you. By the way, how old are you? Then when the user types in 18 years and enters, then it says you are my girlfriend. But if the user could type a different age here, this was going to be validated according to what we typed in here, according to what we stipulated here in our switch statement, which is from here to here. So what we did today, we talked about the if statement, and then we said that it can work with the else if, and then the else statements to validate code in given number of conditions. And then we said to be more organized, we could use the switch instead of the if. This code could be run using the if statement. We could say if else. We could say if age is 1, we could run this code. If code age is 12, we could run other code. If code age is 18, we could run a different code. But then we chose to use the switch because we had a number of conditions to test on, and then the switch works well with this. The switch statement works well with this with the number of conditions. So maybe let us just cut here. Let's just cut it here. Our video is now too long, but then you can just go back and check what we have done here from the if, the else if, the else, and then the switch statement. Familiarize with yourself with that, and then see if you are getting anything. Otherwise, guys, please continue supporting the channel. I'm Freeman, and then goodbye.